welcome to the Remedyfibers podcast, a podcast about knitting and crochet hosted by me, Jillian. Welcome to today's Knit and Chat, where I take you around Michael's to show you some new cotton yarn that I just discovered, a top that I'll be making from the yarn that I found, as well as how my summer sorrel is working up. First, I want to welcome any new viewers. Thank you so much for checking out my channel, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back. This week has been pretty relaxing. I've been pretty much just taking care of a lot of my tasks, working on my summer sorrel, and kind of just going through the flow as summer has almost gotten here. This week will be in the hundreds, so I'm hoping to finally take advantage of going to the pool. Part of the gym membership that I have at the university includes access to the pool, so that'll be really cool to check out. But this week I was able to stop by Michael's, and I just needed some pick-me-up yarn therapy, in the words of Bright, my husband. And I was able to include some footage. First, I was just looking around, and then I discovered some cool cotton yarns that I never saw at Michael's before. So I'm not sure if it's because I haven't been to Michael's in a long time or if they're actually new yarns. But I really enjoyed one of the yarns that I'll show in just a little bit. And one thing that I like to do when I'm at Michael's, or really any yarn store, I kind of talked about this in a few episodes, but I like to be conscious of what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, and having a relatively flexible plan in what I want to knit with. So I went to the cotton section. I found one yarn that really caught my eye. So I hopped onto Michael's Wi-Fi because my internet service is not the greatest. T-Mobile over here, in my experience, has been kind of spotty. So I jumped on Michael's Wi-Fi and found Ravelry's page on this yarn, and Ravelry actually has a feature when you're searching yarns. You can go to the yarn section, type in the yarn that you're interested in, and then there's projects that people have made the yarn with. But what I like to click is a tab that says pattern ideas, and it's recommended yarns that go with the pattern. And I actually found a Jessie May top that I really want to make. I really love this pinkish fuchsia color, and I just find it really convenient because if I choose to use this yarn for that, then I have a plan when I finish this sweater. I have a problem that once I finish a project, I kind of get into limbo and I have a hard time deciding on what project to knit with next. And right now I have a good lineup that I feel comfortable with. After I finish the summer sorrel, I want to work on the boardwalk blouse by the Poison Girls. I have the yarn for that already, so it's just waiting for me to cast on. And then that's it. I really have one project's worth of yarn, and so the yarn that I bought today, you actually only need one ball of this yarn for her project, for the size that I'll be making, because it is a ribbed pattern. It is cropped, it is fitted, so there's going to be a lot of negative ease, there's going to be a lot of stretch, and that's one reason why I really wanted to make this pattern as well. Okay, I had to come right back because I forgot to show you the yarn that I bought today at Michael's. So this is the cream cotton. It has 324 yards, and the type of yarn is 87% cotton and 13% nylon. The colorway is Deep Orchid, and it'll be just really nice to try some new cotton yarn to me, and hopefully they have this cotton yarn near you and you can try it as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. So anytime you're in a local yarn store, whether you're in a big box yarn store such as Michael's or Joann's, if there's a yarn that you like, you can always pull up Ravelry, search the yarn, search what other people are making with that yarn, or what designers have recommended that yarn, or it's similar in what the designer made, and then you have more or less of an idea of something not aimlessly bought, but something that will go into stash that you have a tentative plan for. It might change, but at least you have something that you want to work towards. And in the video, I also show some true blue yarn that they have. They have some new colors that I have never seen before, and the top that I'm wearing right now is actually true blue yarn in a random crochet design that I don't have a pattern for. I explained in one of the videos, it started off as a pattern, I lost the pattern, and then I just had to recreate something as similar as I can so that it can be a completed piece. But right now I'm wearing it as an off the shoulder top, even though it was not designed that way. But I really hope that tip was really helpful for you as you continue to buy yarn. If you are on your stashless journey, it's something to go into your stash right now, see what other people are making with the yarn that you already have, and a good way to just manage your incoming stash. Manage what you're bringing into the house as well as what you're spending your money on. As for my summer sorrel, I really want to thank Judy. Shout out to Naturally Creating. And her comment on last week's episode about German short rows. She recommended Very Pink Knits. I believe that's the YouTube channel on how to work German short rows. And for the longest, I've struggled with short rows. When I made the weekender, I felt the instructions were clear enough for me to do the wrap and turn short rows. But German short rows, I've struggled. And for summer sorrel, I've struggled as well. But the key is, when you use stitch markers on those German short rows, that's what really changed the game for me, and that's when I was able to move past the part where I was really stuck on. And I think what my issue was I wasn't picking up the full German short rows, so I was having more stitches than what the pattern asked for, and that's the issue I was running into. Another person on Ravelry on the project page recommended that after she made the cast on, she knit one row normal before starting the German short rows, and I also did that. So using those two methods helped me get to where I am right now. So right now on my summer sorrel, I have already split for the sleeves. This is how it's going. And remember, I said I was thinking about not doing the German short rows if I couldn't get it right. I'm really happy that I got it right, and I'm happy that I actually used this because you can see it has a natural lower edge than the front. If I didn't use the German short rows, it would have just been a circular yoke that just sit flat. This part will actually be the back of where my neck would be, and then have that nice drape on the front part of the sweater. So you can see the separation for sleeves. You can see the design pattern with these cute design elements, and then I'm working inside out. It doesn't look like I'm working inside out, but I'm at the part where I work inside out, so I don't have to purl the whole sweater. I'm just knitting stockinette. Eventually, once it's long enough for how I want it to be, then I can cast off and finish the sleeves, and then I'm done with this sweater. So I can imagine it'll take me another week or so just to knit the rest of the body for this. But I'm really excited on how this design is working up. I'm so happy I did not give up. Every time I'm trying something out of my comfort zone, I get incredibly frustrated. I get so in this defeatist mindset, and then once I actually conquer it, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. So would I knit this again? 125% yes. What I love about Wool and Pine, the designer for the summer sorrel is Wool and Pine, is they actually have a website for their tutorials, which include YouTube demonstrations. So the YouTube videos, actually they're not YouTube videos, they're just videos used through their site, and they really helped me so much with every step of the way, from casting on to creating the design element that you see on the front of the sweater, to German short rows, to everything. So I would highly recommend Wool and Pine. I am a customer. I would buy more designs, and seeing somebody do the visual instructions for me as a visual learner is the best experience that I've had in any knit pattern. I want to say this is my first time buying a pattern that came with video instructions. You have to buy the pattern in order to access the video, because on the pattern there is a password that lets you enter into the video. You can see the links to the other video designs, but you can't actually click them till you buy the pattern. Then you get the video password, and then you can access them. But I'm really happy with this pattern. I'm really happy with the skill set that I'm developing from working this. And I'm also happy that I was able to kind of get a crack at German short rows. I think I get it. I definitely will use the locking stitch markers so it's easy to take them off once I knit them. The only thing that I'm not sure how I feel about is the yarn choice that I picked. So now that I've moved past the little design feature and I'm just working stockinette, I'm starting to see more of the colors in the yarn. But before, it was giving very beige, off-white, grayish colors, and I'm not quite sure how that's gonna look as a t-shirt sweater. And let me just take a pause here from knitting so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm not quite sure how it's gonna show up on camera, but you can see from the design element, you can't really see the different rainbow colors that are in the skein. But as you work into the body, you can kind of see there's beige, blue, pink, purples, greens, and that's what really drew me to this yarn. So this yarn is from Seismic Yarn. I'll include a picture of what the skein looks like, but I'm not sure how I feel about the color. I'm not sure how I feel about the color on me. And then looking at Woolen Pine and the color that they chose for the top, I wish that I picked something more speckled, more bright, more in your face, more summery colors. I really love the color on the model. So I think I do see a second summer sorrel in my future. But if I was to knit this again, I really would want something in your face, really popping. And the designer also says if you want to use stash yarn to do a fade, this would be a great sweater to do that too. And they have a video in their tutorial section. Once you buy the pattern and you enter the password, they have a video on how to fade or choose your fade colors in that specific video for this pattern. But I'm happy with how it's coming out. I'm excited to see how it is. This is more of a neutral for me, even though it has pops of color. But you know, I love my vibrant colors, my vibrant pinks, purples, yellows, orange, reds. I really love those vibrancy in colors. And I'm hoping that it's picking up. Let me know what you think about the colors in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you think, how this summer sorrel is working out. Okay, let's get back to the knitting. If I can figure out where I'm at. So this week, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to upload the video before this one or after this one, but stay tuned. I did purchase a interchangeable Luca set. I know it's spelled L-Y-K-K-E, but I looked at the Norwegian pronunciation and I believe it's Luca, and it means make happy, or it means happiness. And their wood interchangeable needle set. But for one of my projects, I was really racking up those knitting needles in my Amazon shopping cart when I realized if I continue this way, I'm going to have more disorganized needles. I'm gonna continue to have to buy different lengths and cord size, and that's really why I made the plunge in buying my interchangeable knitting needle set. So I'll include that video below once it is posted. I won't talk about it too much here, so you can kind of check out that review and my thoughts on the knitting needle set. Other than that, I have just been enjoying my weekend. This is a long weekend. Today is Father's Day as well as Juneteenth. Today's the official holiday, but tomorrow is the official work day off since it does fall on a weekend. And yeah, just enjoying the weekend with my husband, with Benny. Today we were able to go to the dog park. Benny got to wrestle with 2 brand new dogs, which he really enjoyed, and he'll probably be wiped for the rest of the day. And we got to do some shopping in Costco and took a really long time just browsing the aisles. With the rise in food prices, Costco has been a great way to save money, buy food in bulk, and just think of different meals to make that are budget friendly, cost friendly, and taste good. We've been spending a lot of time just sitting outside after work and just enjoying the summer as it kind of winds down and comes to, actually it's spring. As spring winds down and comes to a close and summer begins. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what summer plans I have in my future. I was really excited to do all this planning, but when you actually look into how much the cost of everything has been affected, you're like, yeah, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to fly anywhere, I want to save my money. It's just been flight costs, car rental costs, everything has just skyrocketed. I'm not quite sure what I was talking about. I think I was talking about gas prices and the cost of everything rising. But my memory card got full, and that's because I haven't been, after I upload my videos, I haven't been deleting them from the camera. So I just had to go back in and delete all the old videos and all the old episodes. I haven't been really watching much TV. I have been trying to find new knitting podcasters and new crochet podcasters. I'm still catching up with the ones that I love to watch, but I want to try to find some new ones just because I want to see what they're making and what garments they're making. And it's kind of hard to find them on YouTube. Do a random YouTube search. So comment below, who's your favorite YouTuber knitting and crochet related right now? Or if you just have other YouTube channels that you just love and think that they will be great recommendations. I have been watching a YouTuber that's not knitting or crochet related. I think one day her videos were recommended to me. I clicked it and now I'm addicted. Her channel is called Megan Moon, and her name is Megan Moon. And she just has a YouTube channel about being American, moving to Korea, becoming fluent in Korean. She got a whole Korean husband and just had twins, and she just kind of has a lifestyle vlog that I've been binge watching. I love all her videos. She takes you around to all the sightseeing that she does. She takes you through all her bodybuilding competitions. She takes you on having lunch with her in-laws. It's just such a cute YouTube reality show kind of vlog that I've just been binge watching. So even if it's not knit or crochet related, if you have a really good YouTuber that you really enjoy watching, just recommend it anyways, because I'm having a harder time finding things to knit to, because a lot of the people that I like to watch, they either post every 2 weeks or they post once a month, or I've already binge watched all their videos and now I'm waiting for them to post. So I'm not really into Netflix. I've been watching some shows. I watched The Perfect Mother, but I really did not like that series. And I started watching the Halftime documentary of J-Lo, and that one is good. And there hasn't really been much that I've been into. I definitely like comedies. I definitely like rom-coms. But thrillers, even though I used to like those, I feel like they're just a bit too violent, too bloody, too scary for me. So I'm looking for things to watch so I can finish this summer Sorrel. One thing that really is super boring is working in stockinette and you have nothing to listen to. You watched all your favorite podcasters. You're trying to look up new ones, but I'm looking for diversity in podcasters, but also diversity in what people are making and different styles, different techniques, new things, just things to learn from how people craft and create. That's really exciting. I have been binge watching TL Yarn Crafts and just watched her yarn tour, her yarn room tour, and it was just so beautiful. And it's like, I wish I can have a yarn room again, even though in my last apartment when I had one, it didn't really go to much use. But in my defense, I wasn't really knitting or crocheting that much during that time. But I would love to have a yarn room with huge windows, natural sunlight, lots of plants, and maybe even doors to the outside if I wanted to knit outside. But now I just settled, there's a huge lawn where I live that since the school is out, it's completely empty. And so me and Benny just kind of hang out there. A lot of the videos that you see in our intro is sitting on that big piece of lawn. And he loves to just sit there. He stares at the squirrels, he stares at the bugs, he stares at people ride their bikes and pass us by. But one thing I do miss is having a outdoor space and having a place where you can kind of just sit outside, knit outside, maybe even have coffee outside. That's the dream. That's what I want. But right now I have nothing else to chat about. This is a knit and chat, and my brain doesn't want to chat anymore. So thank you so much for tuning in, for checking out my channel. I hope that you and your family are healthy, happy, and safe, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.